What up, YouTube? I'm KFD. Today I want to talk to you about my beloved 1981 Toyota Celica. If you saw my BMW Street Carver walk-around video, this car was briefly in it when I leaned my Powell Peralta up against it and did the walk-around of my skateboard with it sitting on my trunk rack. Well, today I figured I'd make a video because it's been a couple years. So this car was bought new by my great uncle and great aunt at the Gardena dealership in December 1980, because this car is built in September 80. It's just a Toyota ST. It had an automatic with a 22R, had steel wheels on it, and that was about it. My grandfather bought it from them in the early 90s. They took it to Mako, had it painted, and it was just another car. Then my dad started driving it when my grandpa died, and my grandma died. He got a new Buick. This thing sat in the driveway at the Doak for 8 or 9 years. My great aunt took it out of the trust, gave it to me. I put a set of plugs on it. It passed smog effortlessly. I then went to Japan in 2013, and that's when I bought the 18RG. It got the fender mirrors. It got the Watanabe wheels. The trunk rack was actually the first option that I had bought for this car. It was pretty rare, pretty hard to find, and I always wanted Watanabe wheels for it, but I couldn't afford it, and I couldn't afford it at the time. I didn't even think I would be able to afford a set of Rotas or some sort of bootleg whack-ass wheels for it. I was lucky in that I did manage to pick up a set of Panasports for it, and it had Panasports for well. Like I say, I went to Japan, and I bought these off of a little old man for about $400. I had them powder coated here in Ventura by West Coast Powder Coating. It wasn't until 2013 that my beloved Celica got the hashtag Best Damn 18R RA43 Celica in town. As you can see, oh, there's a skateboard deck too. I had an 18RG in this car for a very brief time. Then this happened. I then went on an adventure in 2014 with one of my buddies to Fontana to pick up a 20R off of Craigslist for about $300, $250. I painted this motor pink, put new gaskets in it, put new pumps in it, put new chains, and kept the stock rings and bearings on it. This motor was originally in a 1980 Hilux, or Toyota truck, and the truck pretty much fell apart around the motor. This thing has about 450,000 miles and keeps on chugging. If you look hard enough, you can see the pink that I painted this motor. Yes, I'm running a pink motor. Also, noteworthy, this air cleaner is where the stock battery should go. This is a unique piece, unique to the RA40 Celica, because it's for the 18RG. Another noteworthy piece is this 1-inch Toyota Supra MA70 Master. That actually has helped out a lot, and it was by pure luck that I found that, because I was going to use a mismatch of Toyota A86 Corolla booster with a BM57 master cylinder off of a Toyota Cedric that I got in Japan. And luckily, I found this. No parts gobbledygook required. Just bolted in and I went. These fender mirrors are also a neat piece because they are correct for the car. This is what this car would have had in Japan if it were originally meant to stay there. I actually picked these up off of an RA40 Carina, which is the four-door sedan version of this car that we never got in America, and I actually had to rebuild or manufacture all the internal bracketry for it, because when I saw the Carina, these were hanging by their electrical cables, which unfortunately I do not have the power motors in these hooked up. I don't really need them, but just kind of cool to have. Going to the inside, immediately we can see a messed up MA61 Supra seat. They're actually pretty comfortable. There's a few other things in here. I believe I said that my Uncle Herb had actually ponied up the extra money. It was $400 extra back then for an automatic. Well, obviously that wasn't going to last behind the 18RG. So when I picked up the motor, the pickup truck motor, the pink motor from that guy in Fontana, it had a W50 attached to it. I then had traded a friend of mine for a W58 for my automatic because he had nerve damage. A Celica staple for the ST was this burlwood dash. If you see a GT or even the Supra, they have the faux aluminum. I wanted to keep this car as an ST. I don't know if you saw the badge in the front. I'll go back out there and show you later. This is a neat option. This is the last one. I just picked this up this week. This is the digital readout, the Toyota electronic tuner. I pulled it out of a 1981 Supra. I've been looking for this forever. I finally have it. The cool thing about this is because it has a digital readout, I don't have to go searching to try and figure out what station it is. Coming over here, if you have a USDM Celica, these gauges are different. This one is actually, the temperature and the fuel are inverted on the USDM and the JDM. This is from an RA43. If you notice, my oil pressure is in kilograms per centimeter. Another neat piece, this speedometer, and that is actually correct. I pulled this out of a 1978 Toyota Celica. This is a 78 only piece. In 1979, they went to the 85 mile per hour mandate, so I found the 78, and I actually took the time to make sure that the gauges, even the trip meter for Melinda the next day, because she had to drive to work, read the same as the 1981 speedometer. I even managed to put all the smog reader, which for this car has a third numerical drum you do not see. That's what triggers the warning light to change the O2 sensor. This is the RA45 tack for the 18RG. Now basically it's only the tack face. If you look at a USDM single cam car, your red line is at $5 grand. So I just had to take a Dremel and get tricky with trimming the actual face to fit my original tack. Now the warning light cluster, this is for the OK monitor system. There we go. Let's see if I can get it in there without that pesky stock in the way. This is also a neat piece. This is from an RA45. Yes, it does not fit correct. That's because it's for the GT. The GTs have one full screen, whereas instead the STs have these 6 little guys here. The OK monitor system, which this isn't hooked up, and I do have a brain for it. I just don't have the wiring for it. It tells you if your brake lights are out, you're low on washer fluid, your radiator level is low, and your battery. If the battery level, the acid level is low. Cruise control, have it all. Don't have it hooked up. Another nice option is the tape player. Oh yeah, and it actually works. This Nardi wheel came from the same place in Okinawa that I got the Watanabes from. It's a real deal Nardi 330mm wheel. I paid $30 for it. If you're wondering where my battery went, it's right here in my back seat. I know it's a little bit odd, and I explain it a lot to people, that it actually really helps out with weight distribution, especially if you are running around the canyons. Remember I pointed out that air cleaner to you. I couldn't exactly make the battery and the stock air cleaner. One time I was trying to get that 18RG legally smogged here. It couldn't exist in the same place. So, right here, in between the 2 axle center lines, it aids with handling. And plus, this back seat's small. Who's going to fit back here? To the rear of the car again, I wanted to show off the badges, the RA45 badges I found. TTCC stands for Toyota Total Clean. Actually, it's Toyota Total Clean Catalyst. It's basically the same thing the California system has. It's just kind of cool because it's unique to the 18RG cars. The 2TG cars didn't get those. 2000cc, dual overhead cam. Again, this will be a one-of-none car because STs in Japan didn't even get the 18RG option. There's the hashtag, best damn 20R RA43 Celica in town. At one point, this was the best damn 18RG RA43 Celica in town, and it will be again. Another cool, I wouldn't necessarily say it's an option, but definitely part of this car's history. My neighbor was throwing out a set of Aloha racks. Now, if you're in Southern California and you're an air-cooled guy, you're probably going nuts right now because every Volkswagen seems to have these darn things. They were commonplace back in the 70s, and now they're getting pretty rare to find. Well, Kenny Bob had actually put a set of these on the Celica back in the 90s because our neighbor Romy was throwing them out. He said, well, I can haul stuff with it. So he cleaned it up, made it all nice and pretty, threw them on here. And then I put them on my Dodge because I actually use it for surfing. And then one of them might have flown off on the 110 freeway. So I had one Aloha rack that was good. The other one was pretty mangled up, but we kept them underneath the house. I was junkyarding shortly after I got this car in 2011. Lo and behold, bondoed in on a TE51 Corolla wagon were these racks. So I managed to, one of them was pretty mangled. I had a mangled set with a good one. This was mangled with one good one. I made a good set with it, but it's part of the car's story, so the Aloha racks stay on here. Now moving to the front of the car, I wanted to show off the honeycomb grill and this ST badge. This ST badge is unique. There's only one other honeycomb ST badge here in the country, and it's an ST EFI model. Now with the hood up, you can definitely see the honeycomb grill, which was unique here in the States to the GT Anniversary and the Long Beach Grand Prix models, which they were kind of hard to find. There's only probably about 1,000 or so. There's 600 of the LBGP models and maybe 1,000 or so of the 10th Anniversary. So they're mostly on GT, so that's why you never can see the ST badge on this. I wanted to keep the car originally an ST because it was originally that, so ST badge stayed. Another unique detail, these are actually the JDM headlight surrounds. We just got the stamped little stainless retaining brackets. These are actually inverted because the right-hand drive, left-hand drive, the adjusters are different, so that's why they kind of tilt inward. I'll eventually one of these days take the Dremel and trim it so they're actually facing flat. That is the air dam is a Long Beach Grand Prix piece as well, but it's for a first gen. Someone gave it to me. Thanks, Jared. And I put it on. Now the last piece, everyone asks me about this all the time. This bad boy. Is that a radiator? Is that an intercooler? That is an oil cooler. It's a generic, this is a generic piece I bought off of Craigslist. These are Mishimoto hoses. These were the most expensive part. I think they were about 200 bucks. They actually connect down here, I don't know if you can really see, to an oil filter sandwich. Fun fact, small block Ford, your Windsor, the 302 Windsor, and Toyota R's use the same oil filter thread. I want to say it's 3/4 by 3/4 16 or something like that, but in either case, $25 Craigslist unused oil filter sandwich, Toyota oil filter, and of course, because, you know, in a tip of the hat to the Bosozoku cars, the Japanese cars, which are kind of synonymous with all Kyushu cars, and themselves a tip of the hat to the silhouette racers that dominated Fuji and Tsukuba Raceway in the 70s and 80s, had to be externally mounted because race car. Anyway, so that's it. Thanks for watching. I will hopefully be getting the 18RG back in this car soon enough, as soon as I can get pistons and some other parts, getting it back together. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.